paid money for this?
Have you ever looked at a bird and thought, I want to date that? Of course you have. And now it's possible with Hatoful Boyfriend, the world's premier bird dating simulator. In this dating simulation game, the player must navigate the complicated maze of high school in search of love, just like any other dating simulator, but with one noted exception. All the potential romantic interests are birds.
A dating game is this really interesting thing where it's a usually computer game or a video game where you are a character in the game and you date other characters in the game. And it's really interesting sort of the ways in which they operate and the platforms they're available on. But it's really interesting like the variety that is available. Like there's like pirate dating games and you're the president's daughter dating games and vampires and fairy tales. It's interesting, but like in all of them they're like the same like stock characters. Like you've got like the childhood friend, the like lonely prince, the bad boy. Like it never changes.
I wonder if I can have a relationship with these birds.
I've only ever found one gay one. The rest they're always straight. I found one gay one and it was dudes. And you're like a half vampire, half human boy. And that's like it, which I found unusual. How many dating sims are there? I'd say as many as there are plot tropes. On the iTunes store, there's easily 100. Love Academy, My Forged Wedding, Party. I think there's probably way more than that. I mean, if you look on other platforms, or Be My Princess, Shall We Date, Angel or Devil. There's as many as you can think of. If there's like a rom-com hiding in there, there's a dating sim hiding in there as well. 10 Days with My Devil, The Cinderella Contract. That sounds kind of 50 Shades, but alright.
What? I don't know if this is creepy or romantic. It's the things you're carrying that I'm interested in.
The location, St. Pigeonations Institute, the world's greatest gathering place for gifted birds. The player, a human girl in search of love. The goal?
I live in a cave. I wonder if the other birds live in caves.
Find a birdie boyfriend.
Is this a children's game? Cuckoo to you too! I wish to take the reins of power through clever schemes and rule the world from the shadows. I live in a cave. I have no expenses. Flayed, hanged, shot at dawn? You give the impression of being for children. The school festival, there are giant bows around the class. How do people do these decorations? This is some Cinderella level stuff, you know that? Decided to do a maid cafe. What's a maid cafe? They couldn't have used the proper maid. That is not what they meant. They didn't mean M-A-I-D. That is not what they meant. Wow. I don't stand much of a chance with these pigeons. I feel like any pigeon that's creating art, they've got me beat, don't they?
When you think about the appeal of a dating simulator and the idea of acting out things that you wouldn't get the chance to act out, and really breaking free of the confines of everyday life, you can also think about this in the realm of sexuality, and finding a boyfriend is a really big appeal of the dating simulator, finding the romance aspect, especially if that's something that you don't get to experience in your everyday life. It's often remarked that dating simulators are especially appealing to young women, and if you take a second to examine situations that women face in society nowadays, such as the virgin-whore dichotomy, where they may feel compelled to be restraining their impulses and not act out because they want to stay pure, have society view them as pure, but they also want to find a boyfriend, they want to explore their sexuality. The dating simulator really allows them to enact those impulses and flirt with boys and get a chance to maybe experience some more sexual situations without having the danger of doing that in real life.
There's a note on the help desk. Ooh. A note. Guys, a note.
I think dating sims are popular because, I mean, you do get that stereotype of like the dating sim player as like single guy in a basement or like girl who doesn't understand like real life. And I mean, I suppose that is there. I suppose there is like a desire for like human connection, but I feel like it's also for the story and for the characters, and I feel like people are really interested in sort of seeing where things can go.
Dating sims really provide safe spaces to explore love and relationships. Most dating sims have a couple different paths that you can explore, and some of them end up with endings that you might want more than others, and some might end up with endings that are even tragic.
Some birds are just better than others.
So you get to experience all these different emotions and get to experience them in this place that is safe, where you're not in real danger of having to, break up with your boyfriend because your boyfriend is imaginary. Most dating sims have different endings that you can select depending on the choices that you make, and often people will replay dating sims in order to get different endings and explore both the endings that they wanted, where they end up with someone they like and they're able to really have these feelings of happiness, and also the tragic endings where maybe they ended up with someone they didn't like, or worse, they didn't end up with anyone at all, or someone died, and those are tragic feelings that you would want to explore, but you don't have to explore them in the real world.
Ooh, I don't want to join student council because that guy's mean. I kind of want to join track, but I feel like I'm going to get in fights with the cuckoo guy. Can't stand that. I'm going to become part of the library, and I'm going to find out what's wrong with the sad guy.
A dating sim is both an opportunity for escape, but also control over your own emotions and ability to understand them better in a safe context.
This is the crappy cousin of R.L. Stine's Choose Your Own Adventure.
It's like with any other game. You're interested in the story. It's just about dating. And they still have like human personas that are very similar to like the ones you get in other dating sims. Like you've got the prince, spoiled prince, you've got the bad boy bird, you've got like childhood friend bird, dork bird, Dr. Bird,
Hatoful Boyfriend was created by manga artist Hato Moa as a pet project in her spare time. She never expected it to reach the soaring popularity it has today, but has rolled with the attention, spawning several official books, a webcomic, web radio, web series, and numerous drama CDs.
ここはセントピジョネーション学園。日本中から、いや、世界中からさまざまな鳩が集まって過ごしている。
ポポロプーは昨夜かっこいいですし。
何をしている？貴様らも来るんだ。手下1号、2号。
僕？待って尻尾引っ張らないでさて。痛い痛い痛い痛い。
I think it's interesting because we're getting, and I think this is a trend in sort of like wider pop culture that we're seeing, is like we have these conventions and these genres that have gotten so popular that people are kind of starting to subvert them and sort of question them. A lot of times these are by fans who lovingly care about and sort of cherish these things and want to sort of examine them a little more deeply. And you can do that with birds. I feel like it's like, oh, let's replace this with birds. What does that do? What work does that do? Why is this different? Why is this funny? It's hilarious.
Oh, it's just filled with birds. Why am I surprised? It's like I don't learn.
These things are here as a guilty pleasure, and sometimes you just need to like unwind and date a bird.
Yet despite the game's rampant popularity, not everyone sees the inherent appeal of dating diverse fowl.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome to a special supplemental segment of the patch where we're only going to talk about our game of the week, which was Hatoful Boyfriend.
Welcome to Game Club.
So,
Chloe.
The first rule of Game Club is always make Ryan upset.
the first rule of Game Club is you're supposed to finish the game. What happened, Ryan? You didn't finish it.
You didn't finish it?
I couldn't do it.
Ryan!
I couldn't
Clear.
do it.
Let's be clear. I struggled to finish this game.
All right. I tried with TV. I tried.
There's
You guys are ridiculous.
There's stuff that's
This game is amazing.
The game is often initially met with confused fascination from the unenlightened masses, as new players both struggle for understanding and find themselves oddly drawn into the fascinating post-apocalyptic love story unfolding before them with each click.
I'm really curious to check it out because it's too ridiculous to be a thing, right? This is just insane.
This school is the world's greatest gather place for gifted birds. Sign me up. Hey, guess what? If you weren't creeped out enough already, it turns out that you aren't even a pigeon. You're a human girl in a pigeon dating sim game. Why? I don't know.
You're my favorite.
Forgive me, sir, but I need to go home. I must return to my people with the spoils of war, lay my bloodied sword at the feet of my great king, and celebrate my conquest of all the lands from here to distant Macedonia. Trust me, even in context, that one doesn't make sense.
Hatoful Boyfriend presents a parody of the dating simulator that both pokes fun at and embraces the classic structure of such games. Its strange premise draws critical attention to a form of entertainment that is often ignored in the canon of video gameplay, and asks us to reconsider our definitions of dating simulators and games as a whole.
Now all the other birds in school keep talking about how the doctor is a terrible person, he's a creeper, he kills people. You know, if you just look beyond all of that, then he has a cleaver. How does that happen? How does a bird cleave? How does a bird cleave? Well, he killed me.
The vast audiences drawn in by Hatoful Boyfriend speak to the game's power to both provoke thought and to entertain.
I can see why you had to pay $10 for it. I can see why you bought it. Because now I need to know, what if I hadn't worked in the library? Would the game have a whole different purpose?
As much as the game has to offer via the subversion of classic video gaming tropes, one of its greatest appeals is its humor. Because no matter how you slice it, dating birds is funny. And funny is good.
This is a choose your own adventure, except the real, honest truth of it is that it's saying destiny is real and it guides the hand. Doesn't matter what you do, because you're meant to release the ghost friend from Earth. Just as you're getting close to him, just as you're making a friend, somebody who loves you, you bought the beans after all. We know what that meant. It's all gone. So I think that this is a lesson in depression and sadness. But it's also very appealing. I would play again.
But maybe you should also go outside sometimes.
Holy shit! I would tap that.
Just a thought.